Today the January 6th MITT held the second public hearing concerning the January 6th insurrection. The purpose of today's hearing was to prove the former president knew his claims of election fraud were bogus. They intended to show that Trump had no legitimate purpose for generating his big lie. They also intended to prove that Trump was warned about the possible consequences of his purposeful misdirection of his Make America Great lunatics by letting the wacko fringe characters take over. Trump refused to believe that he lost the election. The Donald doesn't lose. Benny Thompson's and Liz Cheney's opening remarks were coldly effective and to the point, just like in the first hearing. They stated the goals of the hearing without fanfare and the proceedings began after a 45-minute delay. Bill Stepien, Trump's final campaign manager, was the scheduled first witness. Stepien was a soup-node witness. He didn't want to be there and strangely enough his wife went into labor. I am not going to say he was stalling. But
we're not going to be petty and give Stepien a pass, and even give him an advance congratulations if the baby was born. Congratulations, Mr. Stepien.
The committee played portions of Stepien's videotaped testimony and swore in Stepien's attorney to verify the accuracy of the tape. I can understand why Stepien wouldn't want to appear. His taped testimony proved that Trump knew he lost the election. Kirschman said the claims about Dominion voting machines were total bullshit. Matt Morgan, Maryland state representative and campaign insider, informed Trump that Biden's margin of victory was too wide to logically expect a recount would work. Morgan was right. The MAGA fanatics were wrong. Their efforts were futile. Some of the more publicized recounts, like Arizona, proved that Biden actually won by more votes than were originally counted.
Stepien described the mood at the White House on election night. He described Trump's mood when they realized he was going to lose. More importantly, he described Rudy Giuliani's arriving drunk off his ass demanding to see Trump. Stepien said drunk ass Rudy's advice was for Trump to just go ahead and declare victory and they would work out the details. Rudy finally got to Trump and shit was popping.
Oh shit. Now we know that the insurrection and possible elimination of American democracy by negating the will of the people during a legitimate, free and fair election was originated by a drunk-ass former mayor of New York City talking to a narcissistic president, Donald Trump. Only in America, motherfuckers. Only in America.
Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren took over the show. The first thing Lofgren did was to support the theory that Trump had made plans prior to the election by openly stating to his supporters in mass media the only way he would lose the 2020 election would be due to voter fraud. Lofgren played Ivanka's testimony. Ivanka was a senior advisor to her daddy, the president. At one time she was the president's favorite daughter. Ivanka did not hesitate to throw daddy under the short cheese bus. She pretended that she originally had no opinion on the legitimacy of the election. She was convinced that her father lost after conversations with the sane campaign staff and Bill Barr. Bill Barr, former attorney general, Trump bootlicker and former Fraggle Rock mayor, stated Trump's fraud claims were bullshit but the president was only concerned about retaining power. Barr said Trump refused to listen to logic. The president openly berated anyone that told him his goose was legitimately cooked. He was done. Barr resigned when it was obvious the nutters were running the asylum.
Jared Kushner, Ivanka's husband of record and senior advisor to the president, explained how he tried to warn Trump about drunk-ass Rudy, but the president was becoming detached from reality and telling everybody but the nuts. Jared said he was too busy arranging pardons to give a fuck. Could those be the rumored pocket pardons everybody named Trump got to use as a "you can't send my ass to jail" cards?
Notice Jared and Ivanka giving Daddy Trump the stink eye? The 1-6 committee went on to nail Trump's ass to the wall. As far as the point they wanted to prove that Trump knew that the election was not stolen, and that Trump used that as a wedge to work towards the January 6th insurrection, in order to try to reinstall himself back into the White House and overturn the will of the people. They did that within the first, 5 minutes. The first witness that didn't appear, his videotape testimony from earlier, proved that. Everything else after that was gravy. The 1-6 committee is doing a fantastic job, but so did the House committees on during both of Trump's impeachments. The House impeached Trump. The Senate was the one that fell short on evicting his ass. Now the same situation kind of exists because with everything that the 1-6 committee is turning up with all this wonderful, uncontrovertible evidence where Trump has no argument, where his minions, his underlings, can start to see themselves wearing orange jumpsuits behind federal bars, there is the possibility that Trump may walk once again because Merrick Garland is too slow. Don't know if he's a pussy. Don't know if he's afraid. I mean, Steve Bannon already threatened him with impeachment if the Republicans take the House in the midterms. Don't really know what's going on in Garland's head. He's always made this thing about not being political, but you can't avoid this in this circumstance. Politics caused this whole mess, and it is obvious, more than obvious. Stevie Wonder, pardon the analogy. I know it was like didn't have a lot of class, but Stevie Wonder could see this shit. Garland is the head of the enforcement arm of the government. If someone is acting above the law, if someone is breaking the law, if someone is threatening the very Constitution of the United States with their actions, Garland is supposed to be the top cop. And as the top cop, he is supposed to relentlessly, according to the oath that he took, enforce the laws of the United States and to protect and defend the Constitution against all comers, foreign and domestic. Trump didn't give a shit about the Constitution. The people that helped him promote the big lie don't give a shit about the Constitution. The unfortunate part is that a lot of these people are already interwoven into the American government. Let us drop a few names. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mo Biggs. Lauren Boebert. The famous Lindsey Graham, Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, and let us not forget, I talk to the president all the time, Jim Jordan. Supposedly, the 1-6 committee is supposed to work its way towards naming names. And judging from the performances so far, some of these motherfuckers got a lot of shit to worry about. The other shoe is about to drop, and Merrick Garland is responsible for picking up the fucking pieces. Merrick has to do his job. Biden, as the president, now, if you know your civics and U.S. history and government, Biden is the president, the head of the executive branch. The Department of Justice is in the executive branch. Biden is Garland's boss. Supposedly he can't tell him what to investigate. but he can tell him to do his damn job. And the evidence being presented to the public by the 1-6 committee, it damns Trump, it damns the Republicans, but it also makes it obvious that Garland, if he got off his ass and did his job, should have been way ahead by now. And now it's come to the point that maybe Garland is trying to play catch up, or that he had something in the works secretly, and now he's fighting with the 1-6 committee about who controls evidence. Only in America, motherfuckers. Only in America. All I can say is, it's getting damn interesting. And it couldn't have been better if it had been written by the writers of the soap opera, because this is one big fucking mess, just like your favorite soap opera. It goes here, it goes there, it goes in between. Everybody fucks everybody. And in the end, we still don't know what's going to happen. Will good triumph over evil, or will evil take the day? Will the hurricane destroy Port Charles? Stay tuned, motherfuckers, because we don't know. All I can say is, hang on to your bloomers, because it's going to get interesting. Well, until next time, when you join me at Uncle Ricky's house, everybody be safe, God bless, and remember, Uncle Ricky always gives you the truth. So subscribe, like, and do whatever you can to help me get to where I need to be. It's always a personal goal involved. Don't fool yourself. So until the next time, this is Uncle Ricky saying goodbye.